Hello there. It's your boy, Tasty Cake. So I haven't had this one paper in a long time. Well, Good News Weekly, because I don't work in Warner Robins anymore. A paper with purpose for Warner Robins. This is year 19, week 34. Hmm. So there's Masters of the Universe 80s cartoon. Oh my god. This has the crossword puzzle for Masters of the Universe. Oh my freaking lord. Ah, that's hilarious. Okay. I'm keeping this one. Man, this is funny. So, it's more jokes in here. Me playing, got Ellie Guns in the background, singing The Battle of Jane. Love that song. But it's ringing in my ears. So, let's try it without them. Heard that. Employment application blanks always asks who is to be notified in case of an emergency. I think you should write a good doctor. Things I've learned from children. There is no such thing as childproofing your house. If you spray hairspray on dust bunnies and run over them with rollerblades, they can ignite. A 4-year-old's voice is louder than 200 adults in a crowded restaurant. If you hook a dog leash over a ceiling fan, the motor is not strong enough to rotate a 42-pound boy wearing underwear and a Superman cape. Don't try this at home. It is, however, strong enough to spread paint on all four walls of a 20 by 30-foot room. Baseballs make baseballs make marks on ceilings. You should not throw baseballs when the ceiling fan is on. Um, when using the ceiling fan as a bat, you have to throw the baseball a few times before getting a hit. A ceiling fan can hit a baseball a long way. The glass in windows, even double pane, does not stop a baseball hit by a ceiling fan. When you hear a toilet flush and the words "uh-oh," it's already too late. Brake fluid mixed with Clorox makes smoke, and lots of it. A 6-year-old boy can start a fire with a flint rock, even though a 36-year-old man says they can only do that in the movies. A magnifying glass can start a fire even on an overcast day. The fire department in Georgia has at least a 5-minute response time. If you use a waterbed as home plate while wearing baseball shoes, it does not leak, it explodes. A king-size waterbed holds enough water to fill a 2,000 square foot house inches deep. Play-Doh and microwave should never be used in the same sentence. Superglue is forever. No matter how much jello you put in a swimming pool, you still can't walk on water. Pool filters do not like jello. Checking the microphone. Um, Garbage bags do not make good parachutes. Marbles and gas tanks make lots of noise when driving. Always look in the oven before you turn it on. Plastic toys do not like ovens. The spin cycle on the washing machine does not make earthworms dizzy. Cats throw up twice their body weight when dizzy. A quiet, quiet does not necessarily mean don't worry. A good sense of humor will help you get through the most problems in life, unfortunately, mostly in retrospect. Spirit balance. If you have the spirit without the word, you blow up. If you have the word without the spirit, you dry up. If you have both the word and the spirit, you grow up. God always gives his very best to those who leave the choices with him. The value of home. My husband had run t- my husband had run to the store with our daughters, Sarah 4, Hannah 2, and on the way home he drove through a neighborhood looking for houses for sale. After a bit, Sarah asked, "Daddy, what are we doing?" My husband said he was looking at the houses that were for sale. Sarah asked, "Are you going to buy a new house?" Dad replied, "Maybe." And Sarah said with much concern, "But Dad, how will we get it home?" True story. My dad, an auto mechanic, receives a repair order that read, "Check for clunking sound when going around corners." Taking the car out for a test drive, he made a right turn, and a moment later he heard a clunk. He then made a left turn and again heard a clunk. Back at the shop, he opened the car's trunk and soon discovered the problem. Promptly, he returned the repair order to the service manager with this notation: "Remove bowling ball from trunk." Jesus declared the truth. He never gave options. Oh, Facebook.com/Good News Weekly Inc. How about that? I gotta remember that. Make I get more viewers. How God Built Your Faith. Delay by Rick Warren. For the vision is yet for the appointed time. It testifies about the end and will not lie. Though it delays, wait for it, since it will certainly come and not be late. Habakkuk 2:3 HCSB. Even as you make a decision to follow the dream God places in your heart, you can expect a delay. God will not fulfill your dream immediately because this is another step towards building your faith. In Habakkuk 2, God basically says, "These things I planned won't happen right away. Slowly, steadily, surely, the time approaches when the vision will be fulfilled." In this step of faith building, you will most likely start asking the question, "When, Lord? When are you going to answer my prayer?" And we hate to wait. We don't like to wait in doctor's office, or in traffic jams, or at restaurants, or for Christmas presents, or for anything else. But what we hate worst of all is waiting on God. Have you ever been in a hurry when God wasn't? It's so irritating. You're ready, but God isn't. God wants to work on you before he works on the project. Every believer must go through the University of Learning to Wait, ULW. Some of us are still working on our degrees from ULW. Noah waited 120 years from the time he started building the ark until it began to rain. Abraham was told he would be the father of a great nation and didn't have a child until he was 99. God told Moses he would be the leader to lead his people out of 400 years of slavery, but then he made him wait in the desert for 40 years. Joseph spent years in prison before God raised him up, and he became the ruler God wanted him to be. God had David anointed as king, but then David waited 4 years until he actually got to be king. We all have to go through these waiting periods. Even Jesus waited for 30 years in the carpenter's shop before setting out on his public ministry. Why do we wait? It teaches us to trust in God. We learn that his timing is perfect. One of the facts we have to learn is this: God's delay never destroys his purpose. A delay is not a denial. Children must learn the difference between no and not yet, and so must we. Many times we think God is saying no, but he is saying not yet. Telemarketer, you gotta be kidding me. I frequently receive calls from pollsters asking me to participate in telephone surveys. One woman began with a barrage of questions. "Wait a minute," I said. "Who are you and whom do you represent?" She told me and immediately continued asking questions. "What's the purpose of the survey?" I asked. "Sir," she replied irritably, "I don't have time to answer your questions." Then she hung up. one more. It's got to be a sign. Excuse me, I'm trying to do too many things at one time. It's got to be a sign. A friend of mine bought a new car that sported an onboard computer. One Sunday morning, when he got into the car to drive to church, the digital display lit up. Glancing at the readout, he chuckled at the announcement. Time for service. The Good News Weekly, which I completely forgot. I can go on the Facebook website and I can read along. If it takes, if this takes, I will read along. If I can put it without it falling over there. Never mind. Good enough. So please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. I was kind of disappointed with last night's lack of viewership on Instagram Live. And of course, Legend of Traveling Charts. But then again, maybe everyone was on Facebook. I don't know. It was good. People did ask questions. It was different than what it was supposed to be, but that's the way it's just ask us anything. Originally, it was asked. Oh, it was supposed to be 4 of us, then became 3 of us, and then Nick came in to make 4 of us because Christian was going to be interviewing us. Which I thought it would have been fine. I try to think of what are the things that 3 of us would have on our plates of doing things. What our lives are like. What brought us to this point of doing things. But maybe another time. It was more of asking us questions. As the audience started asking us questions, like, okay, and that made things go forward to the after party, which was a good thing. I was kind of hoping for people to say, "Oh, let's join in. Let's see what's going on." And I got someone telling me that someone's been putting curses on me and stuff like that. I should, DM them. So, okay, well, I will. I also download Zoom and get everything ready like I'm supposed to without procrastinating. But it will come about sooner or later. So, till all that, please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, make the comments because it helps me figure out what I'm doing. And so forth. So, always remember, time waits and turns slowly. Oops, I didn't end it. Sorry.